Welcome back to a brand new episode of Charm City Beat. We are back on the table and we have some Orioles news for ya. Um, Kevin Brown, recently suspended, has not called a game since July 23rd due to on-air comments regarding at least the historical record against the Tampa Bay Rays, where, yeah, just horrible management of the situation, saying pretty much we've done better this year than we have the last two seasons against them. Apparently embarrassing the Angeles family, and he was quietly removed. So we are now the laughingstock of the MLB because what the fuck? Typical. Oh my God. What are your thoughts?
What do you think, Ross?
This family just has been. Now I understand what they felt like back in the days with the Ursays.
Mm,
It's gone back since at least 2020.
Yeah.
Gary Thorne, let go. Jim Hunter, nah, we don't need you anymore. You can go. Sweeping everyone out and give us someone, hey, yeah, good. And then he says the truth, and you're embarrassed because it made us look cheap, which have we not been?
Yeah. 100%. I mean, what most of our roster, they're still in their rookie contracts, still pretty fresh, pretty brand new, wet behind the ears, will you say? Yeah, to be punished for this is just so weird to me. It's like, as a journalist, your job is to call the truth. If you are a journalist, you should at least internally have an oath of truth in you that should keep you going. And he said nothing that we already didn't know. We've been doing fucking great this year. This year's been wonderful. And we've gotten a lot of wins against Tampa where the years past we haven't done shit. So it's really baffling to me that it's because of an on-air comment with a graphic, nonetheless, a graphic on the television screen, nonetheless, to go along with what he's saying, still got him in trouble. Like, what the hell?
The timing, it's sucky because you're talking about the Orioles, who are the best team in the American League. They're literally a game behind the Braves for the best record in all of baseball. We just swept the New York Mets on 1983 World Series weekend, and then this comes out, and it's just like, why? You don't need this. It's bad news in a
Oh,
really good season, and it kind of takes the gleam off the year a little bit. I think the players are still playing. They don't really care so much, but I think for the fans and all around baseball, it's a big question mark. It showcases just how childish, obnoxious, selfish, idiotic our owner is. It reminds me of Dan Snyder up in DC down the
yep.
road. Like it's just an owner that has no. I mean, I wish to God we had a Bashali running this baseball team because like we'd just be so much better because we're doing well despite the owners because we have Mike Elias at GM. And so just to me, like the guy was just doing his job as a journalist. He was super professional about it. I respect the hell out of it because he said it in a way that was tactful. He said it in a way that made sense. It really did show how far the Orioles have come. They went from winning one game against them all year in Trop to now like winning all but like one, I think. And they had the best record in the American League, and they overtook the Rays, who were won like all of their games in April and May and had like a 30-game lead at one point. Like, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous. And it's like, again, last week we were talking about, again, this resurgence of Baltimore baseball. It feels almost like 1982, 1983. It feels like that era again. People are packing the stands. People are back watching baseball in Baltimore, giving a fuck. And then this shit happens. And it's like, there's always, I feel like it's the Baltimore way to find a way to shoot yourselves in the foot. That's just Baltimore in a nutshell. It's almost hilarious to me because it's just so ridiculous.
The fact that almost every other broadcast the past few days have talked about that in the middle of their game. That's why that's not what we want them to talk about Orioles.
No.
They have 70 wins.
No.
And this doesn't, and people already didn't like MASN already. This isn't going to help.
I'll be the first to tell you, MASN's trash. The fact that
it's funny. The game's on TBS, but shocker, not here. It's not. You flip it on to big old black screen. Nope, nope, not here.
as there's
I luckily have MASN, so I get to watch most games when I'm home. The
yeah,
app is terrible. I've said that.
yeah. I would almost be happy if the app would at least decently stream games out of market. You know, if you didn't need an Xfinity, or I don't even think you can get it with Xfinity. Like you have to have a FiOS account to like
Then
get
you
the
have some form. Yeah, okay. That's because Angelos, when he brought this out, was able to dig his way. You want my team? You're gonna pay for it.
Mm.
And at first, he was like, "We're gonna use this to help build the team." Yeah, we didn't at first. You know who did? The Nationals.
Yeah.
They built the team with massive money. And the funny thing is, people are there on Twitter all day. Oh, but he signed and he hired Mike Elias and we're first place. But no, let's not talk about what is one good thing does not make up for 10 terrible things.
I miss the days of when baseball was on WJZ. That's all I'm gonna say. That's really all I'm gonna say. I miss those days. Yeah, it's a joke.
But at least the team's winning.
Yeah, we're killing it.
Let's talk about that some.
Let's talk about that. This last weekend, 40th anniversary.
We haven't lost since we
World Series.
recorded. We haven't lost since the last time we talked.
Nope. Undefeated. We're looking great. I mean,
He just dumped 5 runs on the guy that had a no-hitter the last time he played.
you know,
Well, Grayson once again is going against a Cy Young pitcher. I don't know what his luck has been this year. Look at his matchups. It's like Cy Young after Cy Young for that kid.
yeah.
Well, we'll say though, we're gonna need him to be able to beat these guys when the playoffs start, and you've got to face a Scherzer, followed by a John Gray and whoever else is in Texas, or Valdez and a Verlander. Like
Surprisingly, he's going to have the most experience against the top pitchers going into the playoffs in our rotation, probably. And he's the youngest.
He's got the best stuff though, so I think he's going to be an absolute force for the next few years for us before we don't re-sign him and he goes to the Yankees.
Yeah,
because you're Angeles.
And then that's also. Don't forget that will be happening in Nashville.
Like, who do we have to talk to that got Dan Snyder to sell his team? Like, can Steve Bisciotti, pass a little ghost offer across the table? Like, hey man, we're trying to own both sides of Ravens Walk. Like, let's make this happen, bro. Like, it's just
honestly, that would be the dream scenario.
That would be amazing. He's got to have enough money to do it.
What's wild is Elias is probably going to end up being GM of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Hyde's going to end up being manager of the year.
Both rightfully deserved.
And across the street, you've got John Harbaugh, who's won Coach of the Year. You've got DeCosta. You've got Ozzie Newsome. Like, everything about the team building mirrors what the Ravens have done the last few years. I mean, we have the best young core in baseball, and we have the best record in baseball.
Yeah,
it's incredible. And we've got guys coming up still, like a Jackson Holiday. But our ownership won't, go out and get a Verlander, or won't like sign a Rodon before the year starts to like bolster that group. And we could have 80 wins right now had they done something like that, which is kind of remarkable.
I'll say, looking at what Don done this year, that might have been I think that one worked out.
Yeah.
So sometimes they do know what they're talking about.
Let's be honest. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we've all been around the Orioles. Obviously, we're homebred. We're Baltimore boys, homebred, and we've seen just how it goes. Baltimore doesn't spend money. And the fact that we're at this position without spending money, it's insane to me. It's like I'm used to hearing the Yankees signing this player, that player, like, and just running through shit like that. That was my whole youth. But it's like the Orioles have done great, and this is again credit to Mike Elias, building that farm system. I mean, it's deep. When we talk about the guys we have waiting, not even the ones that are in rotation right now, dudes that are waiting, I mean, it's insane. And again, we haven't really spent any money. Now we're going to have to. Somebody's going to want to get paid soon. And
I wonder if it's almost like a bad, like Elias is doing so well, turning like other teams trash, like or like getting like the Mountain was like in single A baseball a year and a half ago, and like guys like Fuji, they get from Oakland, he throws 103. Like, if they just keep doing this, like, why would the ownership want to just go ahead and another, 2 more players off the trash heap the $5 DVD box at Walmart. We'll pack them in, man. Well, the Matrix trilogy's in there. That's
It's
what I'm
that
talking
guy.
about. Like, that's the
Make it
difference.
happen. Oh man, yeah, but yeah. Apparently, the front office, going back to Kevin Brown, front office says they don't speak too much on, I guess, employment questions, but they did say that he should be back soon, which means y'all found out that what y'all did was bullshit, and we are covering our asses to get him back on TV as soon as possible. That's all that really means. So take it for what you will. The Orioles did go off before sold out crowds this weekend. 40th anniversary. I mean, when you really just think about it, 40 years since the last World Series. I'm only 34. Wasn't even thought about when now they won the last time, but I watched a lot of, I wasn't able to go to the game, but I did watch a lot of, I watched 1982 highlights and the 1983 highlights that I guess WMAR2 had done back in the 80s. Found it on YouTube. It was dope as shit. Me and my wife watched it, and it was just like, it filled me with so much pride because I see that today. And that's what gets me excited is, someone that doesn't know a lot about the statistics about baseball. But again, that's why I got you guys. But it's like, it was just so exciting as a fan to watch that and to see it happening, almost like history repeating itself. And then to wake up this morning to all these other bullshit reports. And it's like, what the hell, man? Come on. But, we're still on top of the AL. Doesn't get any better than that. Chasing a pennant. That's all that matters right now. So as long as the boys keep playing, avoid all this, anything that happens off, outside the ballpark, good, whatever. As long as we're just still winning. Going across the street though, the Ravens. Questions. Preseason game this weekend. Football is back on TV. What? You going, Ross?
No. Week one of preseason, when the starters don't even play at all in the preseason anymore. I want to go if the starters still played in the preseason because they don't play week one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, hey, look, where's my program? Who's that guy? Number 12. Which one? There's 3 of them. I don't know. That guy.
I always enjoy covering preseason as a reporter because you spend every day with these guys at camp, obviously. If you're lucky enough to fan to see them a couple of times, maybe that's awesome. But like, I had the opportunity to cover them, and it was really unique. One of the best parts of my entire career. And just you get attached to these guys. These guys that are like bubble players, or free agent pickups, or guys that coming off injury that have to play in these preseason games. And rookie quarterbacks, backups, and they do well. And if you can opportunity to like showcase what they've been doing all spring and all summer, and just see them play. I think I always enjoyed that myself.
Yeah,
and some of them end up playing on the team.
Yeah, as a former player, not in the NFL, I wish, Jesus Christ. But as a former football player, I get excited for preseason. I mean, you get me excited really around training camp, just the way shit is. Like, I remember how the grass smells, all that stuff. And preseason is just exciting. Like you said, these young players get that opportunity. As a reporter, you personally, you have gotten to know these people. But as a fan, that just enjoys the sport of football, it's just exciting for me to see, how deep our depth is. And that's why it's exciting to watch Ravens preseason, because again, you have backups who can actually literally ball out. And it's exciting to see that. One rookie I'm excited to see if he plays. I'm not sure. Haven't heard anything. Maybe you guys have. Zay Flowers. Now, with the Ravens' history of first-round wide receivers, I feel at some point Roger Goodell's just going to come down and say, Ravens, you can't keep doing this. This just isn't allowed. No more
restrictions for
you. We're cut off. You've drafted too many wide receivers.
Get a linebackers or something.
Yeah, keep your linebackers. Go with what you know. But again, I'm wondering, given this history, what is the ceiling for Zay Flowers? Like, from what we hear in camp, he's exciting to play. He's exciting. He's going off. Him and Lamar already have a great relationship. But again, I don't know if it's a Ravens curse, because I don't know if it's the players, but this Ravens curse of wide receivers. What are your thoughts on that going forward?
To be fair, he's played the most in the training camp of the past 2 first-round wide receivers. Christ. we actually can talk about him going off in camp. Hollywood, nah. Bateman, nah. They were done day 2.
Perriman, remember Perriman?
Ooh, I remember
Yeah.
Perryman.
He's already past all of them.
Torrey Smith, was he a first? He was a first rounder, yes.
Second rounder.
Second round. Wow. Safe.
Yeah.
Wow. Safe.
Yeah. I'm excited for Zay Flowers. I think it will end up being probably better than Hollywood Brown, who was, I think, one of the better receivers we've ever had on the team that we've drafted. Like, he was very serviceable. I think he's going to give Lamar Jackson that deep threat we need, but he seems to be a little more physical. Just has a little bit of dog in him that I really love to see. And he's obviously got to stay healthy. He's a little tinier person, but I mean, that's with these receivers, that's the biggest thing. Can you stay healthy? Are you going to be there in November when we play the Bengals on Thursday Night Football, or is it going to be some sort of
wide receiver?
It's going to be like we're going to bring our kick returner in to play receiver because we don't have any more receivers. Like, it's unbelievable, and it's like not fair to the offense when you just can't put a productive team out there. It's insane.
Yeah. And again, especially in an offense where they are trying to move away from the run, it's never been more imperative that we keep the receivers healthy. And we got some good ones. Got OBJ, literally probably the most exciting player we have signed. I can't think of anybody outside of maybe Steve McNair back when he was signed. The excitement behind that, getting away from Kyle Bowler.
Steve Smith Sr. was old. When we signed him, that was because he came in. He had that dog.
Yeah. He just wanted to fight. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what we can do. I mean, I heard Bateman was actually back on the field, at least running, getting some exercise in.
That's a guy to me that could be better than all three of them. Like, what he showed us last year was, I think, 3 touchdowns and 250 yards in 3 games. He got hurt in that Bills game. They were up big in all those games, and he's a big reason for it. And just the fact that he's kind of going to get lost in that offense because you've got Zay Flowers on the outside, OBJ getting covered by the number 1, and Mark Andrews going across, hopefully Isaiah Likely, Dobbins maybe come out of it. I feel like Bateman's going to have a lot of mismatches, and he's probably the pound for pound the best gifted, like, as far as like body and stuff goes for a wide receiver. He's a big receiver. So, and he's quick. He's got to stay healthy though.
Yeah. So another point, because again, all I'm hearing, weapons. That's the word, weapons. So with that being said, the number one thing I've argued on this channel, you can go back if you're watching through all the videos, I will defend Lamar Jackson, at least years past, because of lack of weapons. Dude was out there playing with, again, the kick returner. Again, some random 4th-string receiver. Who the hell do we have? We had Duvernay, and he got injured.
And
Willie Snead the third was like his number 1 receiver in 2019. If you don't get it, it's like, what is that?
Yeah.
So he still won MVP.
And Isabella running around out there. Come on now.
You're like, what? Like, again, you have Josh Allen. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
I was saying, you got Josh Allen who has Stephon Diggs. I mean, again, Pat Mahomes made it happen without Tyreek Hill, and that really, again, probably crushed all expectations of the team.
He has Kelsey, though.
He does have Kelsey.
It does solidify Mahomes as like our generation's Tom Brady. That's fine. Lamar Jackson doesn't need to be Tom Brady.
No.
I think he is in that like Peyton Manning, Phillip Rivers, Drew Brees type of group. And they all had guys. They all had big time receivers. And all the guys now, the quarterbacks now that you're naming, the Hurts, the Burrows of the world, even like the Dolphins have number 1 receivers. Like, Lamar has never had that. And so he finally has some semblance of a wide receiver core. OBJ, who you can line up and throw the ball, he's probably going to bring it down with 1 hand if he's focused and in it. Like, to your point, I think it's finally he's got those weapons.
So this is my other question, because again, he's got the weapons. We've fixed the line. We've changed the offensive coordinator. Is this the season we can finally say on the table 100%, we can judge Lamar Jackson? Is this finally the season we can say he can be judged appropriately? He has the weapons. He has the offensive coordinator that's not going to run the ball every down but the third.
Sometimes the third.
Sometimes a third, sometimes a fourth. Like shit, what the fuck?
Okay, give it to Andrews up the middle. Let's
Let's
go.
go. Still a QB sneak
You're
with the
all
tight
pro
end. What
tight
does
end.
that mean? Oh, but is this the season? Like, do you guys agree with that?
But just like we said with Zay, everyone, if he stays healthy, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if he doesn't stay healthy, once again, then we have to start questioning something else.
And
Hopefully,
that's
we
an
don't.
expensive question.
Yes,
They paid
so
him.
I'm hoping the question is this the year to judge him,
Yeah,
and not did we just waste all our money?
because they spent a lot of money on Lamar. A lot of
But
money.
if he stays healthy, then I don't see why not.
If Lamar stays healthy, I think we're going to see a lot of what he did against the Colts a few years ago. When
Mm-hmm.
he just came, like, I think it's just an opportunity for him. Just if I saw that tape as an offensive coordinator, I'd be like, why are we not throwing it
Yeah.
40 times a game with Lamar Jackson? Because he's able to run whenever he effing wants. But if teams have to play the pass like that, and he's carving them up. Like, there's no reason why he's probably the best quarterback in the NFL when you think of the package that he brings
Yeah.
to the table. And he actually showed that and was one of two ever unanimous MVPs. Like, it's not just smoke at this point with him. It's just like give him an opportunity to succeed, and he will take you to the promised land.
Yep. Yeah, I have no doubts about that. Again, it's one of those things where we have a proper coordinator. Lamar, we know what he can do with his feet. We've seen what he can do through the air. I'm excited to see it consistently. That's it. I'm excited to see it consistently. Oh man, but oh man, we got a lot of questions, going into this preseason. Not too many actually. That's the thing. I think this is again, and I feel like I've said this before injuries riddled our team. This is probably the most put together team we've had in a very long time, defense and offense.
And knock on wood, they're healthy.
Yes.
I think they're not going to play anybody in preseason worth a damn.
No.
I mean, you might see Zay Flowers for a series.
I was gonna ask
just
how much
because
playing
you've got
time
to
he's
get
gonna
him.
get.
But like, I feel like you're going to see Huntley out the ass this weekend. You're going to see Mark, Ingram's going to be running the football, Melvin Ingram rather.
Yeah.
And just like I don't
Trust.
think you're going to see a lot of these guys, especially on defense. You might see Kyle Hamilton. You might see a few of the defensive players,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not going to see Roquan Smith at all this
No.
year and in preseason. Not going to see Lamar Jackson. They've learned their lesson. Like what? They're not getting anything out of it. And they play the Redskins in camp in a couple weeks. And I think that's where they're really going to get their boons as far as the season goes. Their
Yeah.
reps. That's where you're going to have to watch out for injuries. I think. Sadly, you're going to see a few come. But as long as it's not like the big guys, then
Yeah.
it's what it is. That's football.
I am interested to see what the heck was his name? I'm interested to see Ojabo. I wonder how much he's gonna play.
Hmm.
I'm really interested to see how he was gonna do.
Him and Owe.
Him and Owe. I want to see that. I want to see that shit go down. Either side of the line, both just rushing off the edge.
Hey,
Let's go.
Honestly, I mean, we don't have much outside linebacker depth to start with anyway, so
Yeah.
someone's got to play.
Somebody. Yeah. Justin Houston was just signed by the Panthers. Yeah. Wow. That's
yes. I heard O was having a really big camp. So
that's good. He needed one.
But I take that with a grain of salt. I feel like some guys, like a Prochet, will just ball out in preseason and then just like disappear when the lights get on. But I feel like there's enough weapons on defensive line that I'm not actually that worried about OA. He actually had a really good postseason game against the Bengals. He you could see him there, and maybe he's turning a corner.
Definitely hope that new coach is helping.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You go back to Prochet. Jesus Christ, I can't tell you how many times I feel like I get into preseason. I'm like, man, there's that Prochet guy. Like he's just going off, and then it's like, bro, where'd you go?
Then
One every year.
Snapchat's not helping. Showing him be all nice to a little kid. I'm like, stop making me like him.
Right?
I'm gonna do good.
On the flip side, though,
the kid was so pissed off it wasn't Lamar Jackson. It was so obvious.
He's like, you're not who I want.
Do you see the jersey?
I don't want you. You don't play.
Oh gosh.
whereas last year we saw Isaiah Likely go off, and it took him all year to finally get because fuck our offensive
We know
coordinator.
whose fault that was.
Took him all year to get in there, and then he gets in there against the Saints with Andrews out and goes off for 100 plus and a couple touchdowns, and it's like that could have been the Mark Andrews Likely show all year, and they probably win all of their football games because they kept losing games by like
hey,
1 point.
Greg Roman had
Especially
it in the
the
vault. It was in
It's
the vault.
unbelievable, man.
Greg Roman had it in the vault. He just lost the key 5 years ago.
It was around here somewhere.
It's like, it's somewhere around here. Oh, it's with your pink slip.
Fuck it.
I don't really. I got some cool plays in here, though. You're all gonna love them.
Let's do a running back. Let's do a crochet pass to a running back. What about let's do that? You that play?
Oh my god, I was at that game. I watched him roll out. He
Mm-hmm.
double tapped. I was like, he is not. Oh,
About to. God, that was terrible.
There's 4 people down there, and
it was like 3rd and 1 or something. Like it wasn't actually a good situation to do that. It wasn't like
they
first
did not
and 15.
tell him, hey, if it's not there, don't chuck it.
Into the end
Greg
zone.
Roman, I feel like
they were in field goal range.
Rookie mode.
That play was, hey, throw it. What if it's not there? Throw it.
Greg Roman thought he could bring his like rookie mode like Madden play to the NFL, and it just completely fucked up. Like
it worked the 1 year because nobody knew about it.
Nobody saw it. Nobody knew
like,
it. Exactly.
They've got 3 running backs, 2 tight ends, and 6 offensive linemen. Let's just put everybody in line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
That worked, and it did.
And it did. I'm telling you, I think it was the Chiefs game where they figured us out and other teams started replicating that. Or was it Miami? I think it was the Miami game. They kept running that
Miami game.
Miami game. They kept just blitzing us.
They kept running at 0 blitz, and it was like, shit, we don't know what to do.
we don't know what to do because Greg Roman
has no receivers to throw to. Shit.
Yeah, no
well, Greg Roman had all his wide receivers run. Hey, let's have 2 run curls and then have other ones run curls in front of those curls. So we got 2 people standing in the same spot.
Oh God.
So one guy can like, I got these guys.
I hope our memories of this season are so much more positive.
God,
I hope this new
we're blessed because we usually went to the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, can you imagine we're the Jets fans? Like,
I cannot imagine doing this show weekly as a Jets fan. I'll be perfectly honest.
Oh no! What? Now we have fun. We have 8.
Well, now they got interesting people. They got Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is talking about going on his darkness retreats.
Can you imagine if your quarterback was Zach Wilson though? Like I'm talking about last year.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'll say and Lamar Jackson got hurt.
They had Flacco last year.
That's the Ravens were in first place.
Yeah,
so
Flacco.
Lamar stays healthy.
Yep.
Jets for fun last year. They had Flacco.
Where is Flacco this season?
Philly, I think.
He needs to be here retired already.
Yeah,
have a jersey to hang up on the wall.
Flacco just knows how to make a paycheck. That's all that is. Let's be honest here. Flacco just knows how to make a paycheck.
He needs to retire.
He's a dying breed too, as far as like your drop back passer. Like you just don't see him anymore.
You don't. It's a relic now, and it's crazy to me. It's like it's really crazy how much of a relic the pocket passer is. I think once he retires, that's it. I don't think there's any true pocket passers in the league after he retires.
And at the time, we were like, he's like mobile enough. This is great. He had a touchdown running against the Jets in an opener, and it was like, he could run just enough, and it was like better than everybody else.
He had that one catch.
I remember thinking to myself, it was like I remember I hated Roethlisberger because back in them days, Roethlisberger would run on it. So it was like, all right, we finally had that answer: a big quarterback who could run just a bit, but with an arm like a nuclear missile. It was
a ring.
We got a ring.
A ring, baby. Probably should have had 2, maybe 3.
There it is, right there. Oh man, but let's get into the game ball. Jordan, I'll leave that to you, bro.
Got it right here.
Yes,
gonna give it to Mike Elias. You know what? All this talk of Kevin Brown, but we should be talking about Mike Elias because he's built a baseball team that's probably a year early on the rebuild. You're talking about an offense where Gunnar Henderson's Rookie of the Year, probably. Adley Rutschman just hit a home run against the Astros tonight. He was in the home run derby and the All-Star game. It's an underrated pitching staff, the best bullpen in the back end anyway, in baseball with Batista. Yeah. And, more coming with Holiday and the center fielder they just got from in the first round of the draft is now already at Del Marva after 6 games in Florida because he's just tearing it up. He'll probably be a Bowie this time next year. It's absolutely insane what the man has done. He's turned veterans into stars. He's turned guys like Jordan Hicks into actual everyday players. And so shout out to him. He's got the Orioles at 70 wins. We're looking at a playoff run, looking at a home field advantage, probably a bye. And maybe the first World Series berth since 1983.
Oh my God. All right, well deserved. Well deserved. It's always a great time when you can watch baseball and football in October together. And that is looking very, 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 very likely. I never want to say
They released the playoff schedule.
Huh?
They already released a potential playoff schedule, and there already is a time where there is a Ravens 1 o'clock game and a potential home AL, I think CLS game 6 game at the same day.
Wow.
What day of the week is that? In early October, mid October?
Probably mid October. Because I think it was
Yeah.
ALCS.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Yeah, so there's.
I'm gonna enjoy the ride though. Again, we got
Double TV. That's what's gonna. I'm going to the bar if that happens. That's 100% what I'm doing.
I will be at the Ravens game already that day.
I don't
I
know
would
where I'm
not
gonna
be
be, but
because
I'm
I
gonna be
can't. I
having
can't go
fun.
to a Ravens game against what is that? Detroit probably to go miss ALCS game 6. Like that's it. That's probably if we're even making. We're probably gonna sweep the bastards. So probably the moot point.
It won't matter.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
exciting time to be a Baltimore sports fan, and we have got you covered through both seasons now. So stay tuned. We're good. We're about to cut soon. So any last words, real quick?
Yes, you all need to stop sleeping on Project Pat. He's working out with the offensive line now.
Okay.
He was doubted as an undrafted defensive lineman. He was doubted, turned into a fullback, turned into an all-pro. Now he's playing the offensive line. Guess what? We don't have Nick Boyle anymore. We don't have Josh Oliver anymore. We still need a blocking tight end.
Yep.
Now this weird talk of him possibly competing for the left guard spot, that would be funny. I don't see that happening, but
I heard Marcus Williams is having a really great camp. I heard he's making plays all over the football field. He did that last year before he broke his arm, came back, wasn't quite as good, but I think he's back to what he was. And then I heard Kyle Hamilton is absolutely tearing it up, and they may have one of the best 1-2 punches of safety in the NFL. Nice. So can't wait to see it.
Well, that does it for our show. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay tuned. We got more coming to you. And we just barely made the cut. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm gonna get this video up as soon as possible, guys.
Okay.